A grandmother's quiet life shatters when she discovers her late husband's secret, a truth that puts her granddaughter in grave danger. Eleanor Whitcomb adjusted her reading glasses, the hum of the library's fluorescent lights as familiar as her own heartbeat. At 72, retirement hadn't dulled her sharp mind or her habit of noticing details. Like the man in the gray overcoat who'd been lingering near the biography section for 3 Tuesdays straight. She was reshelving Jane Austen when her granddaughter, Lily, burst through the doors, cheeks flushed. "Grandma, you need to see this." The 12-year-old thrust an old photograph into her hands. It showed Eleanor's late husband, Charles, standing with a man whose face made her blood run cold, Mayor Richard Caldwell, now running for governor. On the back, scrawled in Charles' handwriting, "If anything happens to me, it is him." Eleanor's hands trembled. "Where did you find this?" "The attic," Lily whispered. "There is more." As they hurry home, Eleanor spotted the gray-coated man again, this time across the street, watching her house. That night, she combed through Charles' old files. Between pension statements and insurance forms, she found a memo: Caldwell embezzlement proof secured. The floor seemed to drop beneath her. Charles hadn't died of a heart attack. He'd been silenced, and now someone thought she knew too much. Downstairs, a floorboard creaked. Eleanor froze. The security system should have alerted her. Gripping Charles' antique letter opener, she peered into the dark hallway. A shadow moved. "Lily," she called sharply, "lock your door." The intruder vanished before Eleanor could confront them, leaving only a muddy boot print on the hardwood. She spent dawn brewing strong tea and studying Charles' hidden files. Her knitting abandoned in the corner, beneath a false bottom in his old desk drawer. She found a sealed envelope addressed to her. The letter inside confirmed her worst fears. Charles had uncovered Caldwell's scheme to divert city funds into offshore accounts. "If you rereading this, Ellie," he wrote, "they've made their move. Trust no one, not even family." Her hand shook as she read the final line: "The proof is in Lily's music box." Upstairs, Lily slept soundly, her ballet slippers dangling off the bed. Eleanor crept to the shelf and lifted the porcelain box, a childhood gift from Charles. Beneath the tinkling melody of Claire de Lune, she discovered a micro-SD card taped to the mechanism. The library computer confirmed its contents: bank transfers, voice recordings, Caldwell's snarling voice ordering a cover-up. Eleanor's breath caught. Across the street, the gray-coated man leaned against a parked car, smoking. She recognized him now: Caldwell's security detail. That afternoon, Lily's piano teacher canceled their lesson abruptly. "Strange," Lily said. "Mrs. Harper never cancels." Eleanor's spine stiffened. Harper's husband worked for the mayor. Were they watching Lily too? After tucking her granddaughter in that night, Eleanor hid the music box in the freezer behind frozen peas, the one place no one would look. As she turned off the lights, her phone buzzed with an unknown number. "Stop digging. Mrs. Whitcomb, or the girl pays." The text message turned Eleanor's tea cold. She dialed 911, but the call dropped. 3 bars vanished. They de-jammed her signal. Upstairs, Lily's nightlight glowed under her door. Eleanor grabbed Charles' old baseball bat from the hall closet. At 2:17 a.m., the security system beeped once before dying. The back door knob turned. Eleanor stood in the dark kitchen, bat raised, as 2 men slipped inside. "Where's the drive?" The taller one hissed. She recognized his voice from Caldwell's recordings. Eleanor swung blindly, connecting with a sickening crunch. The man yelled, but his partner lunged. She dodged, shattering a vase over his head. Lily's scream pierced the chaos. Eleanor sprinted upstairs, burying them in the bathroom. "Call your father," she ordered, handing Lily the disconnected phone, a decoy. Through the door, she heard the men tearing apart Lily's room. "It is not here," one snapped. A siren wailed in the distance. The intruders fled, leaving drawers spilled and pillows slashed. Police found no fingerprints, no evidence. "Kids these days," the officer shrugged, eyeing Lily's punk band posters. But Eleanor saw the truth. Caldwell's reach went deeper than she'd imagined. At dawn, she packed a go-bag cash, the micro-SD card, and Lily's asthma inhaler. "We revisiting Aunt Clara," she told Lily brightly. Her sister's cabin in the woods had no Wi-Fi, no neighbors. As they pulled away, Eleanor spotted the gray-coated man tailing them in a black sedan. She took a sharp turn into the library parking lot, losing him in the morning book club traffic. Inside, she slipped the micro-SD card into a book, Little Women, and checked it out under a fake name. If things went wrong, at least the truth wouldn't die with them. Aunt Clara's cabin smelled of pine and mothballs, but the creaking floorboards kept Eleanor awake. Lily dozed by the fireplace, wrapped in an afghan. At midnight, headlights pierced the curtains. Eleanor peeked outside. Her son-in-law, David, stepped out of his Lexus. Relief flooded her until she saw who followed Mayor Caldwell, patting David's back like an old friend. Eleanor's heart splintered. David had married her daughter for access. For Charles' files. She shook Lily awake, finger to her lips. They slipped out the back as voices argued inside. "You said she'd have it." Caldwell snarled. "Search the car," David replied. Eleanor's hands trembled as she hot-wired David's sedan, a skill Charles had jokingly taught her years ago. At a roadside diner, Lily stared at her pancakes. "Dad's one of them." "Ain't he?" Eleanor squeezed her hand. "We'll fix this." But how? The library was unsafe, the police corrupt. Then she remembered Martha, her bridge partner whose son worked at the FBI. They boarded a bus to D.C., a micro SD card hidden in Lilia's teddy bear. At a payphone, Eleanor left a coded message referencing Martha's favorite novel, Pride and Prejudice. By evening, Agent Torres met them at a safe house. "We've been after Caldwell for years," he admitted, reviewing the files. "But we need you to testify." Eleanor's stomach dropped. It meant exposing Lily to danger and her own daughter to a husband's betrayal. That night, Lily curled against her, whispering, "Will Mom be okay?" Eleanor stroked her hair, remembering Charles' letter, "Trust no one," but some risks were worth taking for family. The courtroom buzzed as Eleanor adjusted her pearl necklace, Lilia's hand clutched in hers. Caldwell smirked from the defense table, his tailored suit costing more than her late husband's pension. But when the prosecutor played the recordings, Caldwell's voice snarling threats, David's meek compliance, the color drained from his face. Eleanor took the stand. Back straight as a librarian's shelf. "My husband died for this truth," she declared, locking eyes with the jury. Lilia's testimony was the dagger. "Dad told me to find Grandma's special books for the mayor," she whispered, tears glistening. The gallery erupted. David slumped in his seat, avoiding his daughter's gaze. When the guilty verdicts rang out, racketeering, obstruction, conspiracy, Eleanor felt Charles' presence like a warm hand on her shoulder. Outside, cameras flashed. "How does it feel?" a reporter shouted, "to bring down a powerful man?" Eleanor adjusted her glasses. "It feels," she said, "like returning an overdue book." That night, back in her rebuilt home, Eleanor placed Charles' photo beside Lilia's ballet trophies. The security system beeped, reassuringly installed by Agent Torres himself. As she knitted by the fire, Lily practiced piano, Claire de Lune floating through the rooms. The music box sat repaired on the mantel, its secret now a badge of honor. Through the window, snow dusted the lawn where Caldwell's lackeys once lurked. Some shadows, Eleanor knew, never fully disappeared, but with Lily safe and justice served, she could finally read without looking over her shoulder. The last page turned, the story closed, and somewhere Charles smiled.